What would you guys do if you only had the weekend left to live? Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Hialiyah, and today we're joined with
Watson.
Before we begin, make sure you drop down a like down below. Make sure you subscribe to see our faces for the rest of 2023. This is a story about the whale. The whale follows Charlie, a morbidly obese professor who teaches his classroom online. After finding out he has congestive heart failure and wasn't going to survive over the weekend, he tries his best to reconnect with his estranged daughter.
On first glance, you look at the movie, it's like, or you look at Ellie, she's tough on him, really tough, like, which is very much justified, for the pure fact that she wants to see her father do better. She actually outright calls him disgusting, not because of the way he looks, but simply because of the way how he acted in the past and how he currently is acting. All she really wants from her dad is someone better. She tries to force him to walk without the
walker.
Yeah, the walker. It ends up, you find out that basically he can do it, but he's not pushing himself. All she wants to do is push him to do better. Thomas, the religious boy.
He started the church New Life.
Yeah, New Life. New Life is not necessarily just Christianity or Catholicism or all that. It's really just the understanding that Jesus is coming one day and the world is going to end and you should turn to God.
I really liked the dynamics in the movie too, because every character in the movie is flawed.
Genuinely how people feel in real life on a day-to-day. These like ideals people follow behind. There's the ideal of cynicism, complete positivity, the holistic views. It's like all these ideas don't actually help anyone, and Charlie's actually contempt about actually dying. He wanted this. The scene when he looked up on the internet and he found out if you have 238 over 134, call 911 instantly. He instantly went back to eating.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that I already figured that this man was committing by food. It doesn't even look like he actually enjoys the food.
He has a food addiction. For real.
He's just scarfing it down so he can actually kill himself.
And the food addiction gets so bad because throughout the house we see like drawers of candy. He has like a liter of Coke by the bed. It's very bad.
It was Diet Coke. It's fine. It's fine.
Diet Coke is not going to help him in his state. Another detail I really liked about the movie was seeing Charlie's accessibility. Like he has this stick where he can like grab things with if it falls on the ground, or he has this little lever over his bed where he can kind of like pull himself up and sling himself on the bed. In the bathroom, like for the shower, I think it's like a little seat on there. Yeah, so he can take showers easier because he can't really stand on his own. Charlie is also a online professor, and he lies to his students by telling them that his webcam is off. Despite this, he seems like a really passionate English teacher. Like he wants to teach above the curriculum, which I appreciate from all teachers. Unfortunately, in his state, he is going to die. Next character that we are introduced to is Liz. Liz is a hospital worker, and she assists Charlie by giving him medical supplies and just like general medical like attention. Liz's character to me was a bit confusing because we don't get their dynamic right off the bat, which is one of the things I liked about the movie. Like everything's kind of just like read it through the story. So like she's appeared with him, she's taking care of him. We think that that's the dynamic, but then we find out that Liz's brother was Charlie's boyfriend, and they're both dealing with this grief. I really liked seeing how everyone was affected in different ways. All the people in the story lost something. So for Liz lost her brother, and we can see how her dynamic with Charlie is kind of like coddling in a sense, but still rough and protective and territorial over Charlie.
I think she did view on Charlie like a brother or something.
But at first, I honestly thought she was a love interest. First, we see her as a nurse, and then they're cuddling.
Yeah, because she's very like you don't cuddle with your friends.
And then hand them a bucket of chicken after you tell them that they're gonna die. Of course, that's just another Saturday. Yeah.
He didn't make it to Saturday.
Sorry. Liz definitely enabled Charlie's eating disorder by just not actively getting him help. I know like we had a whole discussion about like the right to give him help. But I feel like in her position, if you're not going to hand him over to the medical professionals, don't hand him a bucket of chicken. I feel like that just means you're just enhancing or fast forwarding his demise. We're also introduced to his daughter Ellie. She's very rough around the edges. I think Ellie was my least favorite character just because her anger just seemed misplaced. Like she was totally justified to be upset. Just the amount and like I guess the delivery of her anger, performance-wise, was just a bit off.
At the end of the day, I'm still wondering why they show that picture of a dead dog.
They're trying to add, like, she's brooding and, like, she's dark.
I understand, like, her anger. Imagine your dad ups and leaves your mom, the home that you thought you were happy in, at the age of 8 for another man. And then on top of all that, the dad doesn't come up in her life at all.
Yeah.
Like, literally, there is no contact. It's not necessarily his own fault, because legally, if he actually saw his daughter, he would have gotten arrested. The mother fought tooth and nail to get full custody of the daughter and giving Charlie no, like, visiting rights whatsoever.
I think this is hard for kids to understand, because if that was my dad, I would still want him to fight. It's hard to ask for, but I understand why Ellie just literally sees, like, he didn't try.
And at the end of the day, he didn't try, because, like, he states in the movie, like, come on, Ellie, who would want to be around this? That was his words.
Oh my gosh, yes. So one of the things that Charlie is known for throughout the movie is self-depreciation.
Everyone sees how optimistic and how happy Charlie actually is, even though he is the way he is currently. Charlie actually encourages and helps people in his own way.
We get to meet his ex-wife. She says that not only did you leave me, you left me for a man and left me to explain that to everyone. That's fuel to fight for court, you know? Like, fuck you and your boyfriend. His optimism, if only he gave an inch of that to himself, and he would be in a better place.
So, the wound of Alan, he makes it very apparent that the wound of Alan is very big, and it's really the main factor why he's doing what he's doing. Okay, there's a scene in the movie where when there's a room that he tries to open up by getting a key. It's very difficult for him, but that's not important right now. So eventually, when he does actually have the chance to open the room, he looks inside of it and he tries to flip the light on, trying to rekindle that spark of his old past. Like, I look at it as a form of symbolism or something for some kind, but that light does not turn on. So that part of his life is dead. So if that part of his life is, or not dead, or just over with right now. So if that's the case, why is he still doing all what he's doing? I'm like trying to understand why he still wants to like end his life in the way he wants to do and the way he does it.
I think it has to do with addiction, because addiction, like on paper, flat out, it is what it is. But mentally and psychologically, it does something to you. Like, you really feel like there's no other way out. Oh, he also orders pizza like every day from this guy named Dan, which they have a really interesting relationship.
So like, to me, in my head, right?
Headcanon in the morning.
It sounds like he was really well interested in Charlie. I get the idea of like, oh, it's a mystery. He sounds kind of handsome. It's like, that's what was going on in my brain. I don't know. I saw it as, I mean, you're free to believe it and think that. I saw it as like, I literally come here every day. You tell me the same, oh, the money's in the mailbox. I want to see who you are, or see why you can't just take it this from me like a human. And then when he finds out.
And then when he finds out, he kind of makes like this gross face. That's since Charlie's spiraling. The most weird and disgusting food binge I've ever seen in film. He just starts like grabbing everything around him and just consuming it. It's a sight to see.
It's a sight that you don't want to see. Because I'm sorry, I was all aboard eating the whole box of pizza. Then when he got to the second box, he just started like
pouring mayo and
then he layers of pizza, and it's like he starts
These things aren't happening like randomly. Throughout the movie, they built this transactional relationship where Charlie would rewrite Ellie's essays so he can help her graduate. In return, he will give her money to just hang out with him.
Little does she know that money's coming to her either way.
Yeah.
I feel like he sees the code that no one ever really sees about Ellie, and maybe that's part of the reason why she decides to keep coming back and decide to even go along with writing stuff down in a notebook.
Those falls like that, it's like you're throwing 600 pounds on all your bones. It's a hard life to live.
Real life, Brandon, are you okay?
So we've never seen him fall in that suit.
Like, I'm talking about deadass in that suit, because like that actually looked very painful. That did not look fake at all.
I think I really like these scenes because, you know, it's a movie, but a lot of people hated them of showing the true effects of being that size. So like, we got to see like the bruises and the skin turning black, and like the stomach was literally hitting the ground and he could barely move. You know, there's one thing to say hey, you're morbidly obese and you're going to die. But to see it really does, like, it has an effect.
There's like one character I feel like we're just leaving out. He's the kind of the important one to me, because why did you keep on coming back?
First of all, let's expose him for what he is. Thomas is not part of New Life when he's introduced to Charlie, despite him saying that's why he's there. It's revealed throughout the movie by his daughter. Ellie did this weird thing where every time Thomas was there, she would just take random pictures of him, and she was like, oh, do this weird thing, take a picture of him, do this, take a picture of him. I guess she was trying to like make sense of why he was there too. Thomas, he actually stole money from the church and then ran away because he was afraid the cops were gonna get him. So he thought that if he visited Charlie, he would get a chance to convert someone and bring their life to Jesus, and then take that achievement home to his family and be welcome. We find out this revelation after Ellie drugs Charlie and starts smoking weed around the house, and then she makes Thomas smoke it, and then he opens Alan's bedroom. He's just standing behind the door just confessing his whole story, and Ellie's just recording it. Similar to Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's broken up into chapters. So for Everything Everywhere All at Once, it started with like everything, and then we saw what happened. This, we saw it by the days left. So they showed us what happened Wednesday, and it's crazy, the whole movie happened in the span of days. So I think we're gonna go to the peak of the movie, kind of going towards the end. Ellie exposes Thomas. He was able to find his family back home to wherever he came from. Luckily, was accepted back to his family and decided to give Charlie one last visit. During this visit, he's trying to still convert Charlie. He was just like, so you're telling me my love for Alan killed him? Absolutely, sir. Charlie starts going on this monologue about his and Alan connection. They first met, they started taking walks throughout the campus, they made love together. Thomas is getting freaked out. He's like, stop it, stop it. He's like, do you see me as disgusting? Do you see me as disgusting? Tell me I'm disgusting. And then Thomas is like, you're disgusting! He stops, and then he just gets uncomfortable and leaves. I mean, I think he deserved it, because you're coming to my house telling me just because I loved my boyfriend, he deserved to die? And oh, no worries, you're gonna get a whole new body once you convert to Jesus or to New Life. Liz was like disapproving of Ellie showing up, so now Ellie's kind of showing up in secret until, you know, she shows up with the mom. This is when Charlie was drugged, and Ellie's there. They get Charlie back up and running. Ellie has this like huge explosion saying like, why don't you just die already? The mom started showing Charlie some of the things Ellie was posting about him. These are the parts of the movie where I'm just like, why is she like this? Because they were showing us dead dogs that she just posted on her page, and then she posts this picture of Charlie saying, oh, there's gonna be a grease fire in hell when he goes down there.
She was still very much pissed at him.
Jesus Christ, I get it, you're mad, but like the type of anger she was showing just seemed like she was like psychotic. People react in different ways, I get it. The mom's just like, Ellie, how much is he paying you? I'm not dumb. And she was like, ooh, you know about the money. My bad. Liz is like, paying you? You're getting paid? Really, Charlie? All of it? And we find out that Liz did not know Charlie had over $100,000 in the bank account that could actually give him real help to survive. This whole time she's been coming over, even in what she said was like a snowstorm or something, and her truck broke down and she had to walk to him, and he offered to pay, but she wasn't gonna take money from him, especially if she thought that he couldn't even pay to like take care of himself. That part would have hurt me. But at the end of the day, Liz came back to help him. And this is the only connection she has left with her brother. And now he's just throwing it away. That's what it sent me. Once everyone leaves, the mom has like a really nice moment with Charlie where they're kind of just like reliving their, you know, days in the relationship. Charlie was the optimist, she was the cynic. They kind of complemented each other in a way. There was this moment where she's like, can I listen to your heart? And she can hear him wheezing, and she's like, it's bad. And he's like, I'm gonna die. You can just tell like they actually had a nice marriage when they were together. They're all preparing for him to go. Liz tells Charlie she's gonna wait downstairs for the ambulance to arrive. Ellie comes back angry because she failed her homework assignment. And after she starts reading it, she realizes the story that was read at the beginning. It's an old essay of hers that he kept this whole time because he believed that she had more in her. The sad thing about both of their relationships, because they both see the potential in each other. He asks her to read it to him one more time, and she's going over it. While she's reading it, he stands up, like the beginning of the movie, he stands up and starts walking towards her. And as he's walking towards her, they're finally face to face, looking at each other. And then we get a flashback to Charlie at the beach. His feet are in the sand. It's during a time where he was actually mobile. We have baby Ellie in the back, his wife is there, I'm guessing this would be his peak happiness moment. Cuts back to him now, and he just starts rising in the air, and the movie ends. I don't know how I feel about the ending. I know he was going to die. It was just abrupt that we didn't see anything else.
The whale would most definitely have you thinking every time you think of the movie. Like, you start realizing, like, certain things were just certain things. There definitely was a meaning behind it. I think that's what all A24 was, but this was, like, the most, I say, realistic, because it's mostly a lot of symbolism in a lot of their movies. That's basically what they do, or a lot of metaphors, a lot of wacky and zany, but this is, like, literally one of the more realistic movies from A24.
I really like how everything kind of surrounded Charlie. Like, everything was based off his perspective and what he would do. For example, we don't see many scenes besides, like, the house, the outside of the house, and flashback. Charlie wouldn't be able to see any of this either.
If the ambulance actually comes and they actually see everything around the house, and they see that Liz has been helping and supplying Charlie this whole time, and she never actually did anything, will she lose, like, no?
No, because she could just say I was helping a friend. It wasn't like she was a nurse to Charlie. Thank you guys for coming back to our channel and watching this video. Press a like if you liked what you saw, and if you have your opinions about the whale, please let us know down below. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.